In the not too distant future, next Sunday AD, there was a guy named Joel, not too different from you or me.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to my review of MST3K episode 106, The Crawling Hand. If you'll recall from the last episode, The Corpse Vanishes claimed the title of best episode we've reviewed here thus far. Will The Crawling Hand be able to dethrone it? I have my doubts, but who knows? So let's dive right into my review of MST3K The Crawling Hand. Here we have what was supposed to be the first cold open of the show, as well as the first intended part of Magic Voice. But as we've already covered, thanks to Women of the Prehistoric Planet being aired out of sequence, that's not what happened. You can especially tell that this was supposed to be the first cold open scene because it only consists of Joel explaining to the audience in extraordinarily simple terms, mind you, with a theme song just explained to said audience. After that, we jump into the Invention exchange, where Joel really just performs a lame magic trick instead of actually presenting an invention, and the Mads go all Mr. Fantastic on us, while the out-of-place gloves Dr. Forrester wears makes the effect ridiculously obvious, but at least it's in a charming low-budget way.
30 seconds commercial time.
People of Earth, my name is Joel, and I'm marooned in outer space. I'm the subject of a bizarre movie-watching experiment, and now I guess so are you. Yeah, I got this new thing here. It's a, looks like an ordinary circular saw, but it's actually a safety saw. I'm just kidding. It's a trick.
Say you want to emulate Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four and you need a longer arm to reach something or change the channel, just use our limb lengthener here.
Yes, just select the appropriate limb and just stretch away.
Ow!
Here's a little cinematic intrusion called The Crawling Hand.
Movie sign!
And into the theater we go for The Crawling Hand. We open with a man in space, where firework explosion thingies are giving us our opening credits. We then cut into a lab where it's made clear that the astronaut named Lockhart has been lost. They've had no contact for over 9 hours, and they know his oxygen's almost gone. Many of the rightfully upset people, including a scientist named Steve Curran, begin to fight over this actually being the second man they've lost to the cold, unforgiving void of space, all while hearing the countdown to the inevitable loss of oxygen.
This is like Love American style.
Do you read me? Do you read me?
Like a book.
Someone, please.
Anytown, USA.
Space Operations, Florida Division. It's the press.
Tell them I'm smoking.
What do we tell them, Steve?
Tell them I'm smoking.
No contact for 9 full hours.
God.
Get him some decaf.
2 minutes, 15 seconds.
And 62 bottles of beer on the wall.
Licked every...
No self-respecting scientist would have his shirt unbuttoned that far. I'm sorry.
Well, now, we don't pretend to know all the answers.
Apparently no one does.
Except for her.
We've lost 1/3 of the men we had. It's like a conveyor to oblivion.
Like your career.
Those men did not panic!
Why are they shouting?
Zero. Oxygen depleted.
Slap table. Thank you.
Once they know he must be dead, Steve begins ranting to Dr. Whitesburg about how nothing should have gone wrong, as everything up until that point had gone according to plan. But that's kind of how things going wrong work. You know, you don't see the thing that's wrong coming because everything else has gone fine. But just as they're venting about their failure, Lockhart comes in on their radio. They get him on their video screen and catch him in his Walking Dead cosplay. They start to question him and realize he's been without oxygen for at least 20 minutes, yet is somehow still alive. However, he keeps yelling the word kill and insisting they push the self-destruct button on his capsule before he crash lands. After considering what to do, the doctor decides what the hey and just blows the capsule up. He and Steve then listen to the recording of the gruesome scene over and over again to try to pick up any clues about the bizarre situation. Whitesburg then suddenly decides some random life form must have been keeping Lockhart alive for those 20 minutes, and he goes on a super long-winded, highly confusing rant about the whole thing.
Let's see, mess with this switch, twist that, flip this. Oh, someone's coming. Good luck with that.
Lift off from the moon. Perfect. 1 hour later, nothing. And we had him right here, Doc.
Sure wish I had that command in my arms.
If you want... Do you read me? Lockhart.
Huh?
X-20. This is Moonblast. Curran. Steve Curran. Come in, X-20.
Look, it's Tammy Faye Baker.
Push the red... I can't push that red button. It'll blow him.
Push the red button.
Can't make it.
I think he's taken acting lessons from William Shatner.
No. Kill. Kill.
This is Major Tom to ground control.
Steve, help me! Help me!
Well, he still has good teeth.
Push that.
Push that and he's an astronaut.
Something kept him functioning.
A substitute for oxygen?
New oxygen light.
Well, I think what kept Lockhart going was life. An independent, vital force. Something living.
Oh, and I suppose next you'll tell me there's rings around your anus.
As a matter of fact, I may not talk at all unless I get some encouragement.
Oh, what do you need? A drink, maybe?
What, are you coming on to me?
I need you with me all the way, Steve.
He asked me.
After all that intense, yet somehow boring and drawn-out exposition, we randomly cut to two girls, one of them being a foreign student from Sweden named Marta, hanging in a swingin' teen diner of some sort. After their grumpy waiter says he saw a fireball in the sky last night, the boyfriend Paul that they've been gabbing about shows up, and the couple heads off for their gallivanting afternoon. Now, Faith, you're probably saying, wasn't that scene almost completely pointless and clearly only here to set up a couple of teen characters who obviously only exist in this movie to be the unsuspecting saps who find the monster at the worst possible time and find themselves at the mercy of said antagonist? And to that I say with little to no enthusiasm, I guess you'll have to wait and see.
No dancing! No dancing, not allowed!
What a grouch.
But how did you hook him?
Rubber frog and pork rind?
Tried. The lone wolf, they call him. I'm not saying you're not stacked, but he's just not with it.
Didn't you see that thing last night?
What? You mean
No.
My Three Sons?
I didn't.
Well, there was a fireball in the sky as big as a house.
What do you think it was?
Didn't I tell you? Eat, drink, and be merry. Tomorrow you die.
Well, no, wouldn't it be today if there was a fireball last night?
Can we stop by my house?
What for? It's getting late.
I've got to pick up my bathing suit.
But I told you I'd meet you here. You said you'd have your suit with you.
Mr. Charm.
Eat, drink, and be merry.
Get over it.
Yeah, take a lesson from these teeners. Twist your troubles away.
Out of the theater for our first mid-movie host segment, and it opens with Crow bowling, off-screen of course. After Crow implies that he has human senses Joel apparently did not intend to give him, the subject abruptly changes to them playing different games. The bots go on to decline any of Joel's offers as he wins at everything. The best part of this scene is when they mention how Joel always wins at rock, paper, scissors since their hands don't work, which would end up being the premise of a cold open later on in Season 4.
Oh, good hook, yes!
All right, great shot.
You know, but I hate these rental shoes because no matter how much of that stuff they spray into them, your feet still smell funny.
Smell? I didn't know you could smell.
Did I say smell? I meant spectral analysis, of course.
Hey, well, how about rock, paper, scissors, huh?
Oh, no way. I'm not playing that with you again. Look at my hands. Look. See, you know, every time we play, I gotta be scissors and you pick rock all the time.
Hey, Cambot, I want you to remind me of something. Next time I make a robot, no more free will. That's it.
Back to the movie where our young lovers are frolicking and stripping on a beach. And while I'm sure it's supposed to be cute and maybe even sensual, it just comes off as awkward and weird. It's supposed to be like that opening scene from Jaws, since you can tell something bad's gonna happen soon, and this fact is even further stuffed down our throats when we see a piece of wreckage from the space capsule that exploded. After more bizarre prancing, our happy couple stumble upon the severed arm, which could only be from Lockhart, and they skedaddle out of there. Later on, Paul goes back to the beach in the middle of the night to pick up the hand by himself with no help from the authorities. You know, because it's not like there could be a crazy axe murderer on the beach for all he knows.
I think I know now the secret of how to be successful with a woman.
You do? Tell me.
You have to be weak, pathetic. Then they feel sorry for you.
You're all those things, and less.
Hey, is this from here to eternity?
No, it just seems like an eternity. Oh no, don't throw my shorts in the sand. Damn you!
Don't come any closer. I'm nothing on.
Faker, you haven't had time to undress.
Maybe I didn't.
How would he know?
But American men marry much too young.
You know something? It's because of Swedish girls like you.
The kind that get naked in public.
Hey, last one in the fjord's a rotten egg.
Whoa, he upended her. Hi, I'm Tom Servo.
Hey, I found my watch.
Starlight, star bright, first hand I see tonight.
If you want to catch a human hand, you gotta think like a human hand.
It's a good thing he brought that freezer wrap along.
I don't think it's freezer wrap, I think it's a handbag.
We then see Steve and Doc discussing the properties of an apparently hyper-intelligent lab rat. Doc seems to think it's infected with whatever Lockhart had, but just like before, it's all long-winded and not very interesting. We cut back to Paul, and even though he thinks it's important enough to go back for, he still doesn't take the hand to a lab or anything, and just takes it to the boarding house he lives in. You know, because it's not like it could carry some terrible flesh-eating disease or need to be examined before it rots away too much or something. But Paul just goes to bed as the hand starts crawling around. The lady who owns the place hears something and goes to investigate, but doesn't find anything too unusual. That is, until after several minutes of tensionless filler of her getting in and out of bed, when she's attacked, all thanks to Paul's own stupidity. Paul hears the attack too late and goes to investigate just to find the woman dead. He goes to check on the hand to find it missing, and does what he should have done a couple hours ago by calling for help. And not just any help, but the skipper himself.
Positive. There is a reading.
Yes, you've proved that they are
I
rats.
said there was a positive. In the beginning, we thought he was completely unaffected, but he wasn't.
I think the doctor's been spending a little too much time in the rat lab.
I don't know. Everyone else around here seems to think that what he does is in the range of an exceptional rat's capabilities. But I don't. I think Elmer has thoughts.
Naughty thoughts. It's W.C. Handy. Cujo?
Hey, boy.
Hey, come on, this isn't funny.
Guys? Guys?
Oh, what a mess.
A chocolate
That
mess.
boy said he wasn't hungry, and then he comes downstairs and knocks these jars off of the shelf. The last
That
time
proves
he
he's
came
hungry.
around here, my-
Hey, it's the title character. Oh no, look out!
Oh, I've seen this. This is when she does her Julie Garland impression.
What the?
No, I think she's doing Mrs. Captain Kirk.
Got to find push button.
I bet he's gonna be all choked up now that she's dead. All choked up, get it? 'Cause-
Hey, little hand, little hand.
Operator, give me the sheriff, quick.
If he's not there, I'll talk to the skipper.
Stop talking so fast, I can't understand a word you're saying.
But
stop
dead,
shouting.
found her, and choked, and gunshot, and...
Hotchkiss?
Yes, Mrs. Hotchkiss.
Now don't touch anything.
I won't. Just
I'll
come.
be there in 5 minutes.
Hurry
Look,
up.
Paul.
Oh, please.
I know how you feel, son.
No, you
I'll
don't.
get there as fast as I can.
He doesn't know how he feels. He's never been attacked by a hand. He has no idea how he feels. Look at that boy.
Yeah,
He's got a
but
ball of pain inside.
In our next host segment, we see the trio Shatnering it up with their own crawling hand props. The sketch itself isn't that good, but it uses interesting weird music, and we also get the series' first I Thought You Were Dale reference that we'll see a lot of through the sci-fi seasons.
Must get back to Galileo. 7 lives of 400 crew members hang in balance.
Must control myself. Must find pastel-colored native female. Execute prime directive.
Hands so young looking. Mrs. Berg, I thought you were Dale. This just isn't working. I don't know how Shatner does it week after week.
I don't know why he does it or who lets him do it.
The sheriff shows up to examine the body, and Paul is obviously traumatized, as well he should be, having just caused an innocent lady's death. The sheriff doesn't seem to suspect Paul at all, and even offers to help him find lodging so he wouldn't have to sleep at the house that someone was just murdered in, but he declines. Paul takes some sleeping pills, and once the sheriff and deputy leave, he tries to call Dr. Whitesburg, all while the crawling hand sneaks up on him. Of course, the pills kick in at the worst moment, and he starts to fall unconscious as the hand finally jumps him.
Sure.
Skipper!
Where's the little body, little buddy? No signs of a bullet. Did you hear anything else, like a door closing or somebody running?
Or the sound of one hand clapping?
No. Now, do you recall, did she leave any valuables around the house? Any sizable amounts of money?
Nothing that I found rifling through her stuff.
That should do the trick. At least that's what my wife Edith says it usually does for her. 2 of those and a glass of warm milk and she's out like a light.
Make sure you drink it like a
We'll
raccoon.
go over the routine. I could drive you over to my house and we'll find you another place tomorrow.
I've got a couple of hammocks and a sailor's hat I'd like you to wear.
No.
Now, to catch a hand, you've got to think like a hand. Oh, magic lamp, help me find the hand.
Hello? Operator? Hello?
Operator, long distance, please.
Long distance to where would you like to call to?
I'd like to call
Good.
Dr. Max
Whitesburg.
Whitesburg, how would you spell that?
B.
Be on the lookout for a crawling hand, curls up on the banister and then drops on people. It tends to drop on people right when they are about to pass out.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
This is action-packed.
Fortunately for Paul, the hand must have ears, I guess, as it hears the men coming to pick up the landlady's body and abandons his attack mid-strangle. As they go to help themselves to some beer in the kitchen, they find Paul's crumpled body. Well, one of them actually does the smart thing and checks for a heartbeat, the other just wants to leave Paul for dead. Thankfully, the smart one ignores him and they race to the hospital. Too bad Paul wakes up while they're on the road and is scared out of his skin at the sight of a dead body lying next to him. They hear his screams and slam on the brakes while Paul jumps out and runs like a madman, and they don't even attempt to chase him. The next morning, Paul goes back to the murder hut where the skipper is waiting for him. Skipper points out Paul's suspicious behavior, and instead of, actually taking this obviously distraught young man who was the only other person in a house where a woman was murdered into the station for more questioning, he just tells him to watch himself and stay near the house.
First word sounds like smoke.
Boy, I sure could use a beer.
Who could, but we can't stop now. With my luck, she won't even have any.
Dames like her always keep beer around.
Always.
Holy! Come here!
Huh?
What's the matter?
It's a 2-for-1 special.
I don't know, but I'm getting out of here.
It's a body, dummy.
Listen, buddy, we were supposed to collect the dame, and that's all. This guy's on his own.
He is alive. Let's get him out of here.
You know, it doesn't get any better than this.
I was making a long-distance call, and then all I remember is... I slept with that?
Wow, he really must have had his beer goggles on.
Oh, he's high.
Paul?
Little buddy.
Sheriff.
You all right?
Sure.
Where have you been?
Out by the lagoon.
Now, look, Paul, I'm here because an ambulance driver called me. He told me a strange kind of a story. Have you got anything to tell me?
Just a strange kind of a story.
No, sir.
I suggest you go up and get some sleep. You've had a hard night.
Hard day's night.
Paul starts recording a message for the scientist and his girlfriend, admitting that he was a complete moron for keeping a severed human hand all to himself. But he starts wigging out, destroys the tape, and we see that he's now infected with the zombie eyes just like Lockhart. So apparently this hand can not only spread this alien monster disease thing, but it can do it just by touching you and not even through blood or saliva like other movie monsters. At the police station, the results of a fingerprint test come back that seem to show that the kid's innocent, but Skipper doesn't believe it and sends his deputy to guard the house. If he really does believe so strongly that Paul did it, then why didn't he send the guard earlier? Did he just want a suspected murderer roaming the streets? A while later, the scientists show up, insisting they could help if they let them search the house, and Skipper continues being unreasonably stupid by not even hearing the men out and seeing why they would want to be involved in a murder investigation at all.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps.
Professor Farnstrom and Marta.
I would now like to sing Kathy's Clown.
No, you were both right. You were right, Professor.
Dogs can fly.
Cold fusion is impossible.
I tried to be a lone wolf and...
Now I'm a dead duck. He's doing his Pete Townsend impression. There it is. People try to put us down.
Hey, it's Timothy Hutton.
No, looks more like Adam Ant to me.
Maybe.
It's from a place called Uncharted Desert Isle.
Dear Skipper, why haven't you sent help? Signed, the Castaways.
We asked for a confirmation on those fingerprints at the Hotchkiss house. Well, they say they belong to a guy I never heard of, Lockhart. Who? Melvin
June's boy?
Lockhart. Great Caesar's ghost.
Julius? Augustus?
You tell me why they went in on a case like this?
Curiosity? Money?
Widow lady. You know the way he's been acting.
Like us,
The only
bad.
one could possibly...
Want me to go over and sit on the place?
Yeah, you better.
Better bring a
While
cushion.
you're there, keep an eye on young Lawrence. I suppose I should have picked him up long before this, but I just didn't want him to have a record until I was 100% sure.
He's such a sweet kid.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Afternoon, Sheriff. I'm Steve Curran. This is Doc Weisberg, and we're from Washington, D.C.
We talk real fast.
Sheriff, we're from Space Operation.
Space operation? Oh, now, wait a minute, boys. This is Palms, California. Population 2,306.
We don't have
A woman
space
gets knocked
here.
off and-
All we want is your permission to go through the house.
Nobody goes through the house. Not till the boys from the Bureau get here. And I've got an armed guard that says nobody does.
Yowza.
Out of nowhere, Paul looks completely normal again, which is conveniently perfect timing, as the scientist showed up to the house anyway, and he sneaks them a message to come back that night. Later on, Marta shows up, just having magically appeared in the house with no mention of having to get past that guard, who should obviously be taking off the force as soon as possible. Paul just screams his head off at her while the useless guard comes to escort her out, the only smart thing either of the cops have done thus far. That night, the scientists sneak in without detection, surprise, surprise, and start scoping the place out. Paul's suddenly an alien zombie again and takes the opportunity to be dramatic and slowly step out of the shadows to attack them. And finally, the guard decides to try and do his job, but instead of chasing Paul, he completely misses him running out and chases the scientists away instead. Zombie Paul heads into the soda shop from earlier and tries to kill the grump as he closes up the place. Fortunately, the guy lives as Paul snaps out of it, but another innocent soul has been scarred, all because the small town's police force is totally inept.
Oh, that's not so bad. I don't really have acne anyway. I can go to that dance. It's not a pimple, it's my nose. What was I thinking of?
Do you have any theories? Yeah, somebody killed her. That's my theory.
Huh?
Norman, get away from the window, Norman.
Look, Steve.
Huh? Incoming duck! Oh.
Come back tonight after dark. The back door will be unlocked. I have something important to tell you. Be careful.
There's something sheer.
Paul?
How'd she get in?
She found the hole in the security curtain.
The thing on the beach. Just can't get it out of my mind.
Well, I can't get it out of my house.
About it?
No. Marta, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Harrison, get her out of this house. Just get her out. You just get back to your room.
No playing with your hand and no supper.
No, wait a minute.
Get her out of this house.
I think he wants her out of the house.
Come on, Marta.
Well, there's an indication. It's faint, but it's definite.
This corn relish is radioactive.
Hey, who are they trying to fool with that stud finder?
Yeah, they haven't found me yet. See, stunned me.
Oh, brother.
Hello? Hello? Come on, say something.
Hey, if you can't say anything nice, just don't say anything at all.
It's an Elvis zombie.
Thank you very much.
Check out those classic Elvis karate moves there.
What are you two doing back here?
Well, don't bother about us. Go after that maniac.
Well, now you must.
The guy in the
see if he
rhinestones.
ran right past you.
No strangling, not allowed.
Boy, you get a zombie on the business end of a mop and there's no telling what's gonna happen.
I guess a double scoop Sunday's out of the question now.
For our last mid-film segment today, Tom and Crow rightfully make fun of the crawling hand and question how it could ever actually hurt you. Joel attempts to convince them through some pretty pathetic examples, and as Crow continues to rant about the impossibility of making a rogue hand scary, a giant parade balloon comes in to do just that.
You know, that hand's not so tough. What's the worst thing he's gonna do to you anyway? Pinch you?
Yeah, and how does he know how to go after you? He's got no brain and no leverage. I mean, what's a hand gonna do to you anyway?
Well, there's a lot of things a hand can do if you stop to think about it. Like if you're sleeping, comes up with these two fingers, shoves them up your nose, you suffocate. Stone dead.
Jeez, oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't think that hand could scare me anyway. Free roaming, rogue, disconnected, gloved. Even if it were connected to a forearm, it wouldn't bother me. Tickle you to death? Sure, but scary? Ha! Joel, remember that, Joel?
This final movie segment starts with a nice little connection piece to the last host segment, stating that they were just fooling around with Crow, which I think is a nice touch here as it helps the segment come off better. But back to the actual movie, Paul shows up at Marta's house to tell her he's just not himself anymore and he's gonna run away. And yes, he's fully aware that he's almost killed a man, but instead of turning himself into the cops or even the scientists, he decides to just run away where he'll be free to try and kill countless others. Paul transforms back into a zombie at the worst moment and tries to kill her. As she screams for help, he runs out the window while her grandfather and friend come to her aid and call the cops.
There's this big hand chasing me.
Do you understand it, Marta?
We got
we
him.
were teasing you. That was Gypsy in a giant hand costume.
We skanked
What?
you.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah.
Watch the movie.
Could I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, of course. Come inside.
It's about your stairs. There are none.
Listen, I'm going away.
Away.
Away, you know, not here.
I didn't kill Mrs.
Oh, I know that, Paul. You couldn't have.
But there are people who think I did.
Sheriff Townsend.
Pete Townsend, John Entwistle, the list goes on.
Everything.
Never mind, it would take too long to explain. I don't have the time.
Or the communication
There
skills.
are times when Do you understand?
No.
Well, then don't try.
She doesn't understand much, really.
Oh, get away from me!
Joel? I smell a big, juicy transformation scene coming up here.
Yeah. His neck is stiff, for God's sake, leave him alone. Who?
He's the least successful strangler in the movies. He runs around the countryside giving people Dutch rubs.
Every time I get a boyfriend, he crushes my windpipe. I don't get it.
May I speak with her, Professor?
Sure, Skipper.
Paul, normal again, heads back to his place and finds the hand. He wraps it up, stuffs it in his car, which if he was trying to hide from the cops he shouldn't have been driving, and heads out to who knows where. Too bad for Paul, the hand escapes its very easily escapable confines and crawls his way up to the front seat to get right to work incapacitating him. Paul's able to pull over without crashing at all, possibly the most implausible thing in the movie, and ends up prying himself free and tries stabbing the hand to death. The sheriff and scientists show up as soon as the real danger's gone, and the sheriff wants to gun Paul down, seeing as he pretty logically believes that Paul's murdered one person and attempted to kill 2 others, so I can get where he's coming from. It turns out Paul didn't kill, or I guess re-kill the hand yet, but 2 cats finished the job for him. And once the hand is fully dead, Paul just passes out free of the hand's alien zombie powers. So, you heard it here, folks. The real heroes of the Crawling Hand are a couple of junkyard cats. Sheesh.
Can't he ever use the stairs?
Hey, little hand, where are you, buddy?
Let's see, if I were an arm, where would I hide? My sleeve, of course.
Quick, throw him in the trash compactor. Set it on mulch. Is he gonna use that to signal turns now? Oh man, he's gonna soil that kid's stadium blanket.
What's bugging that hand anyway?
He's got a personal vendetta against anyone with a full body.
Hey, I'm trying to drive.
See, now that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You can tell it's a low-budget movie because they can't wreck the cars, see? Ouch!
Oh, gee. Oh.
Hey, hand-to-hand combat.
Lockhart's like a bit my life.
You might have to.
There he is.
And he's looking good.
That's right, Paul. I don't want to hurt you. Now put that bottle down and come over here quietly.
Put that bottle
Come on now, boy. Listen to me. You didn't hurt her.
Think, Paul,
Marta's all
think!
right.
Cats can't resist the cosmic treat.
They're eating right out of his hand.
The beefy, moist meal in a sleeve.
Not a lot of meat on a hand, but if you cook it right, it's good eating. Nice swoon. This was no boating accident.
Fingerprints. Not a trace. Not a solitary trace.
Must be a talent meter.
And to close us out, we get the 2 most common endings for an episode of Season 1, Ram Chips and Letters.
Ready? Go ahead, Crow.
Well, let's see. The good thing was those cats showed us a new definition for finger food. Finger, get it?
Yeah.
Okay, the good thing was there was a Swedish babe in the film who didn't get killed.
Yeah, and the bad thing?
She didn't spend the time on her makeup that it deserved as the film went on.
Okay, here's your ram chip, pal. Dear Crow, I really like you. I laugh when you make a joke. So that's a good thing, right?
Have I made one yet?
Yeah, and I hope I can see you someday. All right?
Take a look, kid.
Yeah, and Joel, someday I would like you to take apart Servo.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
Hey, can I help?
The first half of this episode is just packed with bad puns and not very good jokes that are done way too much or go on for way too long, even for me. And I love a good pun or running gag as much as the next guy. But there's a bit about smoking in the first 5 minutes, and holy cow does it get annoying. However, in the second half, after the first monster attack happens, the risks pick up, and while there's nothing mind-blowing, there's definite improvement between the 2 halves. When watching the first half, I thought this may have been the worst one since Robot vs. the Aztec Mummy, but I think the second half really saved it from such a fate, and I can say that I place it in the middle of the pack of the episodes we've seen so far. Nothing amazing, but nothing too heinous pretty much sums up this entry in the MST3K universe. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and special thanks to my lovely Patreon supporters, including Jackie Ball, Kevin Nata, and Jill Johnson. And sorry that there's been kind of a mini hiatus since the last video, but I wasn't feeling great this past week, and I really had trouble working on this one during that spell. But I hope you all enjoyed this regardless, and I'm already at work for the next few videos, including my 100th video, which will be up in a couple of weeks. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
Oh, brother.